Hey y'all, about to start another canning project, and this time, as you can figure out from looking at the sink over here, we're doing some cucumbers. I'm going to be making some sweet pickle relish. I know, I just put up a video not too long ago of sweet relish. That one actually had bell peppers and onions in it. Husband won't eat it, and I really wanted something that was more along the lines of what you get in the grocery store, but without the high fructose corn syrup. Okay, so I finally found a recipe. It took some searching, and I gotta thank Christina at Wilhelm's Kitchen. Last year she brought up this cookbook, and I found an inexpensive copy of it somewhere online. It's a used library book, and just by chance there is on 254 sweet green relish, no onions, no peppers of any kind. This is going to be simply chopped up cucumbers with sugar, little black pepper, and white vinegar. That's it. That's going to be our relish. So what I'm going to start tonight is I've already got my cucumbers over here washed. I've been picking these over the last couple of days and keeping them in the refrigerator. Stuck them in the sink, filled the sink with cold water, and I dumped probably half a cup of vinegar in there, just distilled vinegar, to let them clean. And that was after going over them with my hands and getting all the little prickly things off of them that grow. Drained that after letting them soak for about 10 minutes in that, and then refilled it with fresh cold water and let them soak for another 10 minutes and drain that away. Now I'm going to start cutting off the ends, and I'm just going to run these through my food processor to chop them all up. I need 10 cups of finely chopped pickling cucumber. That's what we've got there. So I'm going to get these ready to go into the food processor once I dig it out of the top shelf in my laundry room, and we'll get to work on that. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this because it's nighttime outside, so I don't even have any light coming in through the window, and I've got all the lights on that I can possibly have. One more over here. I don't think it's going to shed much on us. But anyway, I've already done quite a bit of chopping. My goal is 10 cups of minced, finely chopped cucumber. So this is going to get a little loud. Find it easiest to shake stuff in instead of trying to open it up all the time. Okay, that's pretty good. Good enough for me, I think. Let's see. Some big chunks on the side here. I'll give it one more little pulse. Okay, that ought to do. So, take that out. And I've been averaging, I'll make a nice mess, don't I? So I need 2 more cups. Getting about a cup per cucumber, so I'm gonna need probably 1 more. So I'm gonna finish cutting this up and getting this all chopped up. I'm not gonna make you sit here and listen to the food processor while I try to get this done. Just wanted to show you right quick. So we'll be back when we're completely ready for the next step. Okay, next step, we are going to add a 1/3 cup of canning salt. I believe it could either be, what does it say, pickling or canning salt. I have canning salt handy. I'm not going to buy a special salt. We're just going to sprinkle some of that in there and mix it around a little bit. And I do have some chunks in there I'm seeing, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. Just give it a little extra texture. another third cup of salt. To that, actually there's a little stuck in there. Let me use some of the water to get all that cleaned out of there. There we go. We're going to cover this with an inch of cold water. Well, fill it with cold water till it's covered by an inch, which I think that's going to be a little difficult since this stuff floats. Okay. Oh, nice and foamy too. Okay. So I think I'm done stirring. Let's get some more water. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say that that's enough water, but I'm going to get some ice cubes and add in there because I want it really cold. And as they melt, that'll just be more water in there. Alright. Okay. Those evenly dispersed a little better. Alright. Now, I'm going to put a plate on top of this to weight it down. And this is going to go into my refrigerator. And it's going to sit for at least 8 hours or up to 18 hours. Well, for me, it's, I don't know what time it is. It was after 8 when I started this at night, so it's probably close to 9:15. So, we'll be back in the morning when we're ready to start draining this off and move on to our next step. Alright, it's the next morning, and our next step to this is we've got to drain and rinse all this chopped up cucumber that we did. It says in a colander lined with cheesecloth, working in batches, drain cucumbers and rinse well. Drain again and squeeze out excess liquid. Set aside in colander to continue draining. Alright, so working in batches, I'm going to start dumping the stuff over here in my cheesecloth lined colander. And I'm not going to make y'all try to watch all of this, but I still got some good chunks in there. Oh, that's just peel. I did not peel the cucumbers. And I forgot to mention to y'all that when you're chopping up, when you're doing any kind of pickles, it's okay to leave the stem end if you want. That's the part that the cucumber is attached to the vine with. But you do want to cut off at least 1/8 of an inch of your blossom end. For some reason, there's some sort of enzyme in there that if you were making whole pickles, bread and butter pickles, if you left that end on there, it can make your pickles soft. I don't know why. But I have read that in more than one place. So be sure you can cut off the blossom end. So alright, there we go. Rinsing that out. I've got another bowl over here to the side that I'm going to dump the rinsed cucumber off into. And I'm going to continue to work this in batches until I've got it all this rinsed out really well from that salt water that we put it in last night. So we'll be back on the next step. Alright, I've got my first draining and rinsing done. And I put down some fresh cheesecloth. So I'm going to drain this again. Sorry, I'm blocking your view. Gotta get that stuff out of there. Run a little more water through here. All that stuff. Don't want to waste anything. That. Alright. Good enough. Spread this out a little bit, and I'm going to kind of press on it. And it wants me to squeeze out the excess. So we're just going to gather this up as best we can. And squeeze out the excess. Some people like to save and wash their cheesecloth. I didn't. I just threw that one piece away. I'm not quite that frugal. I'm pretty frugal, but it's not that big a deal. Alright, I'm going to continue to press on this and try to get as much of that moisture out of there as I can, and then I'm going to let it sit and drain for a bit as well. And hopefully this rain will let up where I can go out and get my tank set up and we can get this stuff going. We're going to start our brine now. I've got 2.5 cups of sugar, granulated pure brine sugar in here. To that I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And to that we're going to do 2 cups of vinegar. Just white distilled vinegar. Make sure it's 5% acidity. I buy mine at Sam's. You can get a box with 2 gallons in it for just under $5, I think. So just the member's mark. It works just fine. Let's see, we need a spoon. Cut the heat on up under this. We're going to dissolve our sugar. I'm sorry, I'm just waking up and mouth is not following along with the brain. So try to form words. So anyway, we'll get that mixed up and dissolved, and from there we're going to bring it to a boil. Let's see. Bring to a boil over medium heat, stirring often until sugar is dissolved. And then we're going to increase the heat to medium-high and add the drained cucumbers. So when we get ready to add the cucumbers, we'll bring you back. We're at a boil now, so I'm going to grab my cucumbers, bring them over. They're still a little drippy. I'm going to add that in. Oh, I did not mean to get the cheesecloth in the brine, but I guess that's inevitable. Stir it in a little bit. Got pieces everywhere, of course. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat up on this, and we want to get it back up to a boil. Cut that water off back there. It's about boiling. I've got a good simmer to put my lids and rings in. Pot of water back here. Once we get this back up to a boil, we're going to reduce the heat and let it simmer for 15 minutes. I believe is what it says. Let's double check. Yep, add the drained cucumbers, return to a boil, stirring often, reduce heat and boil gently, stirring often for 15 minutes or until the cucumbers are translucent and the mixture is slightly thickened. So that's going to probably take a little bit, and I'm not going to make you sit here and watch all that. Thought I'd give you a little shot of this stuff cooking. I've got I'm almost down to 5 minutes of the 15 minutes, and we're looking pretty good. It's starting to turn translucent. Let me bring you up a spoonful there. And it's still holding a nice green color. I suppose I could add some green food coloring to make it greener, but I'm not going to. I want to keep this just as few and simple ingredients as I possibly can. I had a taste of it. Very sweet, tangy flavor. This will be good in tuna salads, potato salads, on hot dogs, burgers, whatever you like to enjoy sweet relish on. And this way my husband will be able to enjoy it because it has no peppers or onions in it. So we'll bring you back when we're ready to start jarring this up. Alright, we are ready to start putting this stuff in jars. We want a 1/2 inch head space. These are it's supposed to make 7 half-pint jars. I am going to, as you can see, I'm putting mine in pints. So I will process them for an additional 5 minutes to what it says in the book, which I believe is 10 minutes. So I don't think we're going to get that many jars out of this, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's see where we are with that. Sorry about reaching over. Let's do a little debubbling. Not much debubbling to do, but a little bit. Let's see, 1/2 inch headspace. I could actually go just a smidge bit more in there. That may have been too much. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, I got a smidge too much that time. Alright, let's take a little out. Try it that way. Again. Alright, that's good enough. So I'm gonna wipe my rim with this vinegar. And that jar is really, really hot. Okay. Hot ringing lid. Come on. I'm going there. Okay, finger tight. And there we are. Let me bring this up so y'all can see it. That looks really pretty. Let me tilt the camera up so we don't have to tilt the jar. Pretty color. Looks good. I'm really pleased with that. And I like the taste to it. I had, like I said, a little nibble of it. So I think I'll put this in the canner and we'll finish jarring up the rest. Let's try a different angle here for y'all. I'm going to have to kind of stand over to the side and do this sideways, but I'm going to try to get you a little better view of when I'm filling these jars until such time I get a different tripod to play with. You'll see that a little bit better as I fill this up. Probably should not. I don't think I'm going to get, that may be too much. Let's debubble this. Oh yeah, that's way too much. Dig some of that out of there. Try that now. Definitely, and that's hot. Reach into the camera here, grab my towel. That's about 1 inch of headspace, really, so I could probably try just a little more. Just want to get some more liquid in there. That's just under 1/2 inch, so I'm going to leave it there. Wipe that rim real good. And I'll be really surprised if I get another full pint out of this. Ooh, hot. Hot. Here we go. Finger tight, and hopefully y'all had, oh yeah, y'all had a much better view. I don't know how much my arm was blocking, but we'll try that from now on too. Be back after I put this one in the canner. Well, I apologize. I ended up putting these in the canner and processing them without being able to show you. I got busy doing some other things because we had to hurry and go meet some people out to eat. So I finished, and I ended up getting the 3 pints. I had this little bit left over, but I am really, really pleased with how these turned out, how they look. Try to zoom you in a little bit. These are a beautiful color. Nice, held the green really nicely. I don't feel like I needed to add any food coloring to it to make it look like store-bought. And it's nice to know that there's 4 ingredients in this. Chopped up pickles from my garden, pure cane sugar, vinegar, and a little black pepper. That's it. I mean, I can't pronounce a good part of the stuff that they put in the store-bought versions that we get. So anyway, I hope this will encourage people to try their hand at canning. I was tickled to death to be able to find this particular recipe in this complete book for pickling. Let me run down the exact measurements. This yielded 10 cups of finely chopped pickling cucumbers, a 1/3 cup of salt. That was for day 1, in which you put it in a non-reactive bowl, cover with cold water, put a plate on it to weight it down, and then let it stand. Cover and let stand at a cool room temperature. I put mine in the refrigerator. I'm just, my house is not that cool. For at least 8 hours or up to 18 hours. Day 2, prepare the canner and jars and lids, and then you're going to 2½ cups of granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of freshly ground black pepper, 2 cups of white vinegar, 5% acidity. Once you've rinsed and drained your cucumbers from the salt brine, you put them in, let them set in the colander and drain some more, squeezed out the excess moisture. You combine all those other ingredients, bring it to a boil over a medium heat, getting the sugar dissolved, increase the heat to medium-high, add the drained cucumbers and return to a boil. Reduce the heat and boil for about 15 minutes or until they're translucent and it thickens up. Ladle them into the jars. This is supposed to make 7 8-ounce jars. I did pints, so 16-ounce jars. If you were doing the half pints, you'd process in a water bath canner for 10 minutes. I did mine for 15 minutes since I did a larger jar. I let the jar stand in the water for 5 minutes after I turned off the heat, and then put them here on the cooling mat. They have all sealed. All 3 sealed just fine. And tomorrow I will take the rings off and wash the jars. This I'm going to put in the refrigerator and we'll enjoy it this weekend, which is the 4th of July, probably with some hot dogs or hamburgers. So thank you for watching. Have any questions or comments below, put them below or send me a message. I'll answer you as soon as I possibly can. I hope you enjoyed this, and happy canning.